Okay, I just logged into the Power BI Pro. You can see this Power BI Pro. Okay, this is the home page. Okay, I mean these are the favorites, like whenever whatever the favorite, like data set, report. So what is data set? Okay, PBAX file can divide into majorly two parts. Okay, PBIX file. Let's say we have created one PBIX file, right, in the 15th day, or if you go here in this is a PBIX file. Visualization is a name, and dot PBIX. PBIX is a file type. Okay, so that file is basically divided. When you publish, you will see one file become two. Okay, how they divided this PBIX file, divide two things. Okay, one is, and the second one is, let's say tab. Second one is data set. Now in the latest, this is also automatically creating the dashboard. Now yesterday we have seen, previously it was not there. The recent updates, they have giving three. So once you publish the Power BI file, automatically in the Power BI service you will see these three. Okay, one is report, the other one is data set. This is the dashboard. What is dashboard will come to the point, but what is data set? Data set is the underlying data, all your sources, all your query editor. Okay, the query editor preparation, the model, okay, will become to a data set. Okay, but now we'll come to the point. What is the report? Report is basically the visualization part you will see in the Power BI. So that is a report. But data set is very clear. Okay, data set is nothing but underlying data. How the report is created with the help of tables, right? The data model, the schema. Okay, that become here data set. Okay, now if you see everything just like that, what is the difference? Okay, if you go here, let me go to my workspace. I see these three things. Okay, if you expand this, you see here, most important thing is dashboards and reports. Okay, if you can't see, let me zoom it. If I go here, dashboards, okay, reports, and you will also see one thing is data set. Okay, data set. Data set workbooks also there. Workbooks will deal about the only Excels. Let me show you one this blue. So this will deal with Excels, but this will deal with data set, our report. But we'll talk this workbook later. But we are only going to discuss about this data set and this reports and this dashboards. Okay, so our report, when you publish, automatically it will be deployed into your workspace. What is your workspace? Workspace means whatever the reports you develop, you will publish by default into your workspace. We'll talk about these workspaces later, but for now you just concentrate on these things. Okay, under my workspace you see dashboards, reports and data sets. Okay, and before that we will go here. Okay, the profile. If you see this profile, the profile name is Mahendra P, and then this is the email address, and free account, premium user, it will give you. But if you see there's a three dots, this is very important. If you click on these three dots, it will tell you that your premium per user is 59 days left. Yesterday we have started, so again 59 days it will left. This is a notification part, we'll come to this later, but this is very important. Settings. Okay, and the downloads. Okay, here you can download Power BI desktop, data gateways, PageNet report builder, Power BI for mobile, analyzing Excel updates. Okay, so the workbooks basically, or the analyzing Excel from data set also we can do. We'll talk this later. Okay, for now you see there are three dots. In the three dots there are some options. Here you see setting is one of the most important, and downloads, help desk and feedback. This is all I mean not much important, but you get it from Power BI desktop also. Okay, there are similarities, but they are not same. What there are similarities? Power BI desktop and Power BI service. The interviewers definitely will ask you what is the difference between Power BI desktop and Power BI service. We'll come to that point, but for now, yes, there are a lot of changes, a lot of differences, but they are look similar. Okay, sometimes they will make you confuse also. Okay, we'll come to the point. Okay, there are personal managed personal storage. If you see the storage, they will give 10 gigabytes. Okay, 10 GB data. I can store 10 GB data. Okay, what is my file here? The visualization file is only just 10 MB. Okay, so once my storage is getting filled, you will just like the C drive, how the C drive looks like, same way it will be looks like to you also, how much of space you have to upload PBX files. Okay, so this is about that. And then if you come again to settings, we'll talk about this content packs, view content packs, admin portal. Okay, manage gateway, we'll see this. Okay, settings, we'll see this. Okay, and manage embedded code, this is also important. We'll cover all of them, but for now you understand that there is a lot in the three dots. Okay, there is a lot in the three dots. We'll come to that. Okay, as a pro trial user, you have 10 GB data to work with. Now what are all these favorites we understand? Let's say if I go to my PBX file, this is a dashboard. See, dashboard is created just a, I mean, link. It is not real dashboard. Okay, but I mean, you could, if you click that, it will directly route to the reports. Now see, I was here, but when I click that, it will come. But what I can do extra? See, this was my pages, right? So overview page, line graph, and see this is one more option. You can expand or collapse using these three lines. Okay, so that you will get much better space. Okay, and these are all the things that I have developed. Okay, now let me create a dashboard. You know how simple it is. Just pin the dashboard. Okay, so just go to these three dots. Okay, pin to dashboard. Okay, first before that I'll do just like this. Okay, click any of the visual, and then there is an option to pin live. Okay, pin to visual. You guys can see pin to, there is a icons, but one is a pin icon. Okay, you see this, oh my god, yeah, this icon, small icon, so that will give you pin. So let me do pin first. It will ask you to create a dashboard, pin to dashboard. What exactly dashboard? See, dashboard is like the important visuals from the reports. Okay, a dashboard can create from multiple reports. Okay, a report can create from I mean from one data set you can create multiple reports. Okay, from one report you can create multiple dashboards. A dashboard can consist data from different reports also. Don't confuse it will give you little confused, but it's easy to understand. Okay, dashboard is just like your let's say in your home you will maintain a dashboard, like let's say you maintain a board, and there you write, okay, in the kitchen we don't have this. Okay, in the finance part we need to pay for this. Okay, you will write all of them, but they are all different regions. Okay, kitchen region will come, your finance region will come. Okay, your to-do list will come, your personal thing will come, your kids thing will come. All these things, all different data sources will come together to create a dashboard, something like that. Okay, dashboard is nothing but the important things will come together to show at one glance. Okay, the reporting purpose is to take the decision as quicker as possible, as fast as possible. Okay, by seeing the visualization, by seeing the story, the data story points. Okay, your data will tell you the story. Okay, so now we don't have any existing dashboard. Yeah, we have already, the dashboard is created by default, but if you want, you can create a new dashboard. But if you want to use this, you can use that. Okay, and now let's go to dashboard. You can go like this way or go to this dashboard option. Okay, if you go here in the dashboard, now you have a dashboards. Now, previously it was only one, but now see you have another visual. Okay. Now I'll do see, dashboards can be created two types. Okay, one is individual tile pin. Okay, the other one is, now let me go to the report. Okay, let's go to report and go to visualization report. Okay, now if I go in here, there is an option to pin to dashboard. So what it will pin if I do this? Okay, now just pin it. Same dashboard, I'm just pinning. You see, pin live. See guys, pin live. There is a difference. Now go to dashboard now here from. Now see, I created one tile itself to pin in one page. This is another page, okay, but this is another page, and I can see total page here. Okay, I can see total page here, but this was only one tile. Okay, and if I don't want, I can delete this because it's meaningless. Just a link to the report. Okay, delete tile, and you can just manage the space. Okay, you can, now whenever I click on the tile, it directly route to the report path. Okay, we were in the dashboards. Okay, but when you click on any of the tile, it will directly route to the report. Now see, I'm just clicking it, it will just go to here. Observe it. See, now we are here. So dashboard is just like a board, it is just a link. Okay, but it will give you a lot more understanding about your data in the first glance. So that is the reason dashboards are very important. Okay, we'll cover these first points. Okay, what is this? Save a copy, download the PBX file, and print this page, and settings. Okay, see what it will do if I do a save a copy. Let's say what was the name? Visualization. This is my first copy. Okay, save. What it will do? It will just recreate the same file. Now you see in the reports I have two. I should have saved a copy. Let me go to my workspace, click on my workspace. If you see, visualization report is there, first pro copy is also there, but we can see only one data set and one dashboard. See the types you see here, the owner who has created it, and when it was refreshed, when it is next refresh. What is refresh? Basically, when we do create a report, when we create a report, data will be imported. There is the three types of modes, right? One mode is import, the other mode is direct connect, the other, then third mode is live. Okay, we talked in the initial demo class itself. The import itself will import the data. Okay, the data will be imported into the Power BI. Okay, and you can create the visualizations, but that will be every time the same data. So what matters? But your business will daily runs, right? So you will generate the sales every day. So those sales will get update every day into the same report. How that can be done? By refreshing. You need to do the automatic refresh. We'll talk that later, but just understand the data set has to be refreshed every time. So that is the reason, maybe based on your business requirement, it could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be monthly, okay, it could be 6 months, it could be quarters, okay, based on your requirement, your data set has to be refreshed. So you will not do directly every time refresh now, you cannot click like that. That is not the automation, that is not the use of the tool. So what you can do, you can automate it. We will talk that later, but the thing is, like, here what you understand is, here there are three things. One is all. If you go to content, you will see only reports and dashboards. But if you go here, you see data set and data flows. Okay, we'll talk this clearly in later session, but for now you see the only data set. Here you see there are many options. What you can do, you can analyze in Excel. Okay, currently I don't have Excel. I've not installed the Office, but I just created the trial version for 60 days. But if you have Excel, if you click this, what it will do, it will basically ask you to download some updates. Okay, if you go here, analyze Excel updates. Okay, they should have some Excel updates. Okay, if you have that updates, if you have that Excel, and if you click this analyze in Excel, this data set will become a pivot table in the Excel. Okay, power pivot. Okay, I told you in the first day in the demo. Okay, there is a 70778 and 70779 certifications are available. What they are? 70778 is a Power BI desktop certification, but 70779 is Excel Power BI certification. Both are 80 to 90% similar, except this analyze in Excel. Okay, if you do, I mean, you no need to work with this desktop altogether. But Power BI service, yes, you can do Power BI service, but only the difference is, like, extra you do Excel more there. That's the only difference. But some extra flavor is there, but you can think that they are similar, mostly 80 to 90%. Okay, 10% will vary. Okay, that's where this option will come. Okay, so we are only talking about the data set, guys. Okay, the data set, only one data set, we have two reports, you might have observed. Okay, if you click on the report, you see otherwise content here itself, you see two reports are there. The visuals, the icons, you observe icons are different. This is the dashboard icon, this is the report icon. Here you see the type. Okay, this is very important. Okay, we have one data set but two reports. So from this you can understand, from one data set you can create one or more dashboards. You can create one more also, you can create one more also. Why? To understand the data in a different dimensions. Okay, now if you go here, what is this is the refresh, but if I do refresh I will get error, because we'll come to this point. See, if you do that, it will definitely error out. Okay, and what is this? This is schedule refresh. We'll talk this later. Let me go to data sets. How to go to data sets? Many ways you can go. Okay, now you come here, come to the data set. Okay, my workspace. Yeah, click on my workspace, you will come to this. Okay, we'll come to these 2 points later in the session, maybe today or tomorrow. But what is this? You can create a report directly from this data set. Okay, you will get one more report. We have already created two reports, but you can create one more. You can delete it. Okay, you will get quick insights. Okay, security. So what we talked, right, role based security, RLS. Okay, no, so that can be applied using this. Okay, do you know RLS? What is RLS? A row level security. How to do that? Go to modeling and click on that manage roles and apply roles. So those roles, once you publish, you have to come here in the data set security, and then you need to configure here. Okay, so if you click that, it will ask you to see automatically those roles are available here. Asia manager, you have not added any email address. Okay, Europe manager, you have not added any email. So there are no users to view in that role for that report. So previously these were not created. We used to create manually. Okay, Power BI is actually updating every month and month. Okay, so that is the reason all bugs will get fixed one by one. Okay, now security is done. Rename. You can rename it. Okay, so you can rename to the same report to just like first data set, something like that. Okay, so see guys, there is a naming convention. How to give a naming convention? Naming convention to understand the data inside. Okay, if you see first data set, what does it mean? Okay, as we are developed first report, so that this is the first data set. To understanding in the learning perspective, the first data set is perfectly fine. But in terms of business, this is not the one. What is the business name we can give? This is about population, right? So you can give that, population analysis, population data set. Okay, and you can add something extra if you want. What exactly mean by population? World population, you can give like that, world population. Okay, world population data set. Okay, so this gives some meaningful name. Okay, um, settings, again we'll go to that settings pane where we can do a data gateway installation and everything. Okay, download the pbx file. If you really want this data set into a pbx file, you can download. Okay, download rdl. Yes, what is rdl? RDL is actually a SSRS thing. Okay, in the latest SSRS, we do have a latest version. Okay, where you can publish this data set directly into the Power BI. So to do that, you have to download this and publish there in the reporting services. Okay. Now manage permissions. What is this? Whoever wants the access, let's say in your team, you can share this report. How you can share? Either you can share as a read mode or read and write mode. Okay, so you can edit or you can only just view. So something like that, you say search is a name, the employee name from your organization, and you can share or you can add user. So you can share a report, you can share a data set. So anything is possible. Okay, but if you share the data set, they can see the reports and visualizations. But if you share the report, they can only see the dashboard and report. If you share the dashboard, they can only see the dashboard. Understand the security. Okay, if you share only the dashboard, they can see the report, but yeah, because sometimes you can restrict only data dashboard level also. Okay, it's purely administration part, guys. This is purely an administration administration role. Okay, um, now where we were in the my workspace data set. Okay, now you go here, see download RDL file, manage permission, view lineage. Yeah, see view lineage and view both are same. Okay, if you see this list and lineage, what exactly mean by that? So if you see this will give you a very good flow. See, we have four sources. Okay, text files. Course underscore country region underscore text is one file, and population 2050 2100 is one CSV file. Population 1915 1999 CSV file. These four CSV file will become a one data set. Okay, this become a one data set. Okay, and that data set become two reports. Okay, from this report you have created one dashboard. If you click here, you see delete and settings, view usage matrix and share. See, the usage matrix is how many users this dashboard is actually using. Okay, so this is one of the most important and advantage of Power BI. So you might create lot of dashboards, lot of reports, but end users might not be using them. Like you are interested to see like how much the report, how many users they are accessing. Okay, you will see that matrix from here. So loading usage matrix, it will tell you everything. If you go here, you see Power BI is creating a report for yourself. Total views blank. So far nobody viewed it. Total viewers, nobody. Total shares, no shares. And I am not shared to anybody. Okay. So everything rank it will give. Let's say you have 10 reports, and what is the best, what is the top one report in your organization. So it will give you the rank. So let's say it is in the third rank, means two other reports are very important than this. So something like that. You can understand lot many things. Okay, it will save you administration efforts. Previously, we use it to when once we do migration, or when once we do some analysis on the part or KT. So once we give a knowledge transfer to a new member, he will understand like what is the most important report. Then whatever he knows, the other person knows. Based on that only he has to rely. But here no need. You just click the insights and you will get what is the best report and how many users are you viewing. All those stuff you can see from here. Okay, so now where we are in the lineage. Okay, lineage view. So I mean, this is a clear understanding. Let's say you have only one, but if you have another reports and you can see everything. If any issues, you can come to lineage and you can see what exactly the problem. Now you have seen this. What is this? Show lineage. Okay, because this is highlighted. If you see multiple visual dashboards, you will understand this importance. So what it is just like a focus light. Okay, it will focus how the flow is coming for this visualization, this dashboard. Okay, so now it will see. Now you put the focus light here for this. It is coming from this to this. If you put focus light here, so it is talking this, and if you put the focus light here, so it is actually enlightening everybody. So this is one of the user friendly thing. But if you click these three dots, you will come to know analyze this report in the Excel, delete, save a copy, settings, users metrics for the report. Previously we have seen the users metrics for the dashboard, but now you can see the usage metrics for the report also. You can share this visualization to end user or a report, your team. Okay, from anybody you can share using the share option. Okay, multiple ways you can share, but this is one of the way. And the same way, if you come here in the data set, the same data set settings you can see from here also. Okay, here if you see here, show the impact across the workspace. See, this is impact analysis, guys. In our olden days, I remember if I want to change one of the field in one of the application, we used to do lot of impact analysis. Impact analysis used to take maybe week to months. Okay, so like that we used to prepare the data, separate documentation for that to just change the name. But see, the impact analysis is very easy now. You can click and show the impact on this workspace. Okay, see, there is the option gateway connected to the data set. So we'll talk this later. Okay, data gateway is one of the important. There are two types of data gateways, guys. Okay, we'll talk this gateways. One of the damn sure interview question, gateways. Okay, there are two types. One is personal gateway, and the other one is premium gateway or enterprise gateway. You might be say like that, premium or enterprise. Okay, why they are basically, why they are, why we need a gateway? Because these text files were there in my local computer, right? They are actually saved in my D drive, but until unless the PBX file in my computer, that PBX file can connect to my D drive and I can do a refresh whenever I want. But once I publish to this app.powerbay.com, this is a website, but it cannot directly connect automatically to my D drive, right? There should be a gateway. This is a cloud basically. App.powerbay is a SaaS application. What is SaaS? Software as a service. Microsoft has a lot. Okay, SaaS application. So it's a cloud-based web application. Okay, it's a cloud-based web application. So this application directly connect to my D drive. To do that, you require a gateway. Again, the gateways are two types: personal gateway and enterprise gateway. What is the use of personal gateway? Personal gateway will give you to connect to a single computer, and that computer should be online when you want to refresh it. So obviously, for my requirement, I can install this personal gateway because the data set is available in my computer, and Power BI service I am just directly connecting from my computer, so that using personal gateway it can connect to my D drive and get the data. Okay, whenever my D drive files get updated, the personal gateway will get the latest of refresh data and then push it into this Power BI services. Okay, that is the use of personal gateway. But what is the premium gateway? In the premium gateway, the administrators in your organization, there are a lot of reports are there, lot of gateways might required. So all gateways will be configured in a VM. What is VM? Virtual machine. Okay, so virtual machine. In the VM, you maintain all the gateways, and a dedicated administrator will work on that gateways. Okay, you need to see like how much throughput is going in and out, like how frequently data is getting refreshed, is there any gateway issues. Usually in the Power BI support, you will get some gateway go down sometime. Sometimes you need to change the schedule refresh. Okay, so we'll talk that in the schedule refresh part. Okay, but yes, for now you understand gateway is a gateway to connect between Power BI service and Power BI desktop or your local computer. Okay, so premium is a lot. I mean, in the personal gateway also you can create lot many connections, but it's restricted to your only computer. But when it comes to enterprise, you just imagine an organization, you imagine a lot of reports. So a lot of reports with different data sources. So all those data sources maintaining in a personal gateway. So if you create the personal gateway, the problem is that your computer should be on every time to refresh. You schedule the refresh with your personal gateway, but your computer is shut down, then personal gateway will get failed. Why? Your VM is not up. What is the VM here? Your computer only, your VM. Because that should be live, that should be on, that should be connected with internet. No, sorry, internet connection might not be required, but no, yeah, it should be get connected with internet. So that then only the app.powerbay.com will go and fetch the data from your local computer. Okay, so yes.
Did you publish this data for population data in the Power BI desktop?
Yes,
It's not.
see, I have see without publish, you cannot see the data into the app.powerbay.com or Power BI service. But I have done it different way. I've used this get data option. Okay, one in the Microsoft stack. When I say stack, that set of technologies Microsoft provides, you can do a one task in multiple ways. Okay, which will be 99% similar and same. Okay, so you can do publish using this option. Okay, let me open up Yeah, actually, I did not press that publish option, but I used another way, get that option. Okay,
Yeah.
get that option.
Instead of publish from desktop, you can do from here.
Yes, yes, you can do either way. Anything is perfectly fine. There is no difference at all. Okay, but the extra benefit is if you do this, you no need to sign in. You no need to sign in the Power BI desktop. So that is the difference. Okay, so
Here,
where
here
yeah.
we have visualization and first pro copy. There are two dashboards, right? Sorry,
Yeah,
two
yeah, yeah,
reports.
right. So
E-
one dashboard can create multiple reports. That is what my intent to show you. So
These
you
reports have reports have been done in desktop itself, or you have done here.
no. I've created this first copy flow from the Power BI service itself. Yes, you can do that. Let me show you. If you click on
Then
that data set, I can create one more thing. Okay,
create.
population. If I go, and end user can create one more his own report. Okay, now see, it's almost same. Looks like your Power BI desktop.
Yeah.
But what is the difference? Now, the question comes here. What is the difference between Power BI desktop and Power BI services? If you see the almost same thing,
Yeah.
but there is a difference.
Create one more
Anybody?
dashboard. I will come to know.
Yeah. So there is a difference. The difference is you cannot do data massage. You cannot go to query editor directly from here. You cannot see underlying data sources directly from this.
Okay, okay. Through existing data set only, I will do. I can make
Yes,
many more.
yes. Whatever the Power BI developer has done so far for you, okay, you are using. You cannot go and see this data view, visualization view, and modeling view. There are not, they are not there. If you see here, okay, if you see here, just put side by side, you will come to know. Hmm. If you put side by side, you will come to know. See, this column is same, visualization column, fields column is also same, search
Yeah.
bar is filter pane also same, the visualization part is also same. So almost some of the features is also available here along with some extra features, but the key difference is this, these two things. You
Data
cannot
model
see
and
the
visual.
you cannot see the data in the data, and you cannot see the model. This model and data and creating DAX and everything. You might require an developer help.
Okay.
Okay, this is called self-service BI. What is this? A end user can come to a data set and create his own visuals and create his own report. It's called self-service BI. Power BI has many flavors in terms of usage. One is self-service BI, and the other one is mid level BI and the enterprise BI. Okay, enterprise BI. What is enterprise BI? And which means it is actually grabbing the market. Microsoft tool is actually grabbing from small company to enterprise companies. Okay, that's how the market, just like Geo. Okay, Geo is also serving from small 99 recharge persons to, okay, 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees, 5000 rupees per year they can recharge, something like that. Okay, so the same way self-service BI is served for end users directly, even though they are in enterprise. They could be a single user just like me. I can analyze my own performance, my own finance, my own tasks. Okay, whatever it is, I can do my self-service. And enterprise level, what is enterprise level? I might require a developer for that. Okay, he has to create the data warehouse. Okay, you might connect to data warehouse, you might connect to SharePoint. There are hundreds of data sources are available, so I cannot work with only single service, single source. So in that case, Power BI can work with hundreds of sources. So end user might not work with the hundreds of sources. There are lot of data massaging is required, data modeling is required. So it is not that easy to work. Business analyst can do that. Okay, so that's where the developer comes into picture, and he will work in the desktop. Okay, now you can create one report just like a ribbon. Let's create one ribbon chart. What is that ribbon? Yeah, this one. Okay, we might have created, I'm not sure. Let's create one ribbon chart. Okay, what we have here: category, breakdown, values, tooltip. Okay, tooltip we covered. Okay, we want to see the values mostly population. Okay, the numbers. And category, how you want to see, by age group or by year. Let's see by year. Okay, let's change this to, what is this ID, right? So let's go somewhere from region name. Okay, category by region name. See, this is the region name. Okay, this is a total, but this is actually splitting this total into different regions. Okay, what is the lowest one? This is Australia is the lowest one. Then Africa comes into picture. Then Europe comes into picture. Then North America. Then South America. Then Oceania. See, these are all the contribution for the total. But again, if we have not put the breakdown. If you put the breakdown, this visual is entirely get changed. So what is that? The breakdown is like, let's say if I put some age group with this ID, you can just make it a little bigger to just yeah. So age category. Okay, if I put that age category in this breakdown, see, the visual is entirely changed. Okay, now Australia. So Australia, you see the other, to increase, decrease, and other. What exactly mean by other? Decrease actually red. Okay, that is perfectly fine. Minus 47. But if you see, this is others category. What does it mean by other? Minus 39.19 percentage. Okay, increase means green color. Nothing was increased, but everything was decreased. But total, I understand blue is the total. Somewhere we see yellow also, year and year. But I don't understand what is the difference between this red and yellow. Anybody can see. Others category, age category, others age category. Okay, age category, others. Do we have any other age category? Let me pull here age category into slicer. Let's see age category. No, we don't have any other. Adult, baby, kid, senior, teenager, and young adult. See, this bigger one is what? Age category adult. This is senior, and this is kid. This is young adult. This is teenager. What is this? Others. What is not covered might come into others. But why others? Why not exactly that? So this is the question. So this is how you start analyzing. See, in the Australia, actually, who are the most contribution? Adults are too much, and now you can tell that kids are very, teenagers and young adult are very less, right? Something like that you can analyze. No, there are also more basically. So this is only 0.4 trillion young adults, but there are 0.5, but actually decrease. Young adults are decreased. See, the highest one is teenagers, and the young adult is actually this is how these are actually getting down. Okay, that's how you can analyze the data more. Okay, now the intent is to just to show you the report. We have created a report. Okay, and now what we can do, we have to save this report. Okay, there is an option to save. Okay, you can save this report. What is the report name? Report name is what? Ribbon chart, population ribbon, population analysis. This is by a ribbon chart. So save this. So now you see, from one data set we have created 3 reports now. If you go to lineage view, go to my workspace, go to click on, see, by default if you click on this workspace, your workspace will available, but you can create extra workspace. We'll talk that later, but just click on this. If you see the lineage, by default it's actually come to the lineage. From one work data set you have created 3 reports. See, population analysis by ribbon chart, first pro copy. These two I have created in the service itself. Okay, and this visualization is come based on the Power BI desktop. Okay, this, from this only we have created the dashboard. From these two we have not created any dashboard. If you create the dashboard, this will come here. Okay, if you pin this, it will again point to this connection, but we have not pinned anything from this to this or any other. Okay, this is a very good advantage in the lineage part. Okay, you can see the list also. Okay, any questions so far? We'll talk the apps. Okay, if you expand this, we'll talk this apps part. Okay, we'll talk that, I mean, if you go to get data, there's an option to my organization, services, files, databases, and you can also download from the Power BI desktop from here. Okay, we'll talk this. Okay, see, bring your reports, workbooks, data from Excel, Power BI desktop or CSV files. Everything you can bring using this thing. Okay, using files. Choose apps, online services that you use from services. What is online apps? Like just Azure services, something like that. Okay, my organization, let's say in your organization, okay, you are into one vertical. When I say vertical, you are into a sales vertical, sales developer. Okay, something like in the sales division you are the sales developer, but there is a marketing division and marketing developer is also there, but you might not know each other and each of your development. But if you go and explore there, you can see your organization works. Okay, so, and this is one of the useful thing. I mean, databases, we'll come to this databases, SQL Server database and Azure database and everything you can connect from here. Okay, you can see the some samples also. Okay, organization content packs. Okay, we'll talk this content pack. Content pack is nothing but, we'll talk that later. Content pack is just ready-made cake and can be used for others. So that is called content pack. Okay. Now where we go? Now we cover get data, we cover report, and if you see a report from here and rename, remove, everything can be done. Open can be done from here. Okay. Likewise, there is a scroll bar. You can get see workbooks are nothing. No workbooks available, but you see the data set. Again, you see all the options from the dataset option, which you can see from my workspace. Okay, this is a duplicacy. Okay, from here, here with nothing here. Yeah, so same options is also available here. Okay, and the dashboards. Now let's go to yeah, gateways. If you just see here and then settings and manage gateways. Okay, See, you don't have any gateway. Okay, but let's say if I go back to my workspace, if I want to refresh now, what it will say? It won't refresh. See, something went wrong, error. What it's saying, schedule refresh has been disabled. Please try again later or contact your support. Please provide these details. Schedule refresh is disabled because at least one data source is missing credentials to start the refresh, and go to the dataset settings page and enter the credentials for all the data sources. Then reactivate the refresh. Okay, what is the cluster URI? Wabi India Central Primary Redirect Analysis Windows.net. I mean, these are all, I mean, administrator or Microsoft use case to understand them, but for us, I mean, it's nothing. Okay, but the error source description is important. It is saying that you need to go to credentials and go to dataset settings. Okay, let's go to settings. Go to settings. Yes. So you see gateway connection. See, gateway is not there. Okay. You have no personal gateway installed. Okay. So let's click to install. You can install like anywhere. You can download from this also. Go to downloads, download gateway. This is also perfectly fine. This is also fine. Now just open it up. Still downloading. Maybe take 2 minutes, it looks like, but yeah. So here, any questions, guys?
It pulls the data from D drive, right? If you
Yes,
download
yes,
this.
yes. It will connect to my D drive now. Okay, whatever the changes, those 3 files, if I do any changes in my D drive, they will refresh and they will get the latest data using this gateway. Gateway is just like a pipeline, guys. It's just like a wire, okay, connecting to your desktop, to the cloud, to the app.powerbi.com. Okay, you should be more familiar with the app.powerbi.com. This is actually whatever you develop in the desktop, you will publish here and you will manage as many as possible. So this is one of the most important area, dataset settings, and because we have only one dataset, you see one dataset, but if you have multiple datasets, you see multiple datasets, you require to do all these things. Okay, now it's almost done. 15 seconds, 14 seconds. Okay, so meanwhile what you can do is we can create one more final model. I will publish this final model also. Okay, it's done. 1 second. Yeah, it's done. Now I'll ask a question. What is the difference between import and direct mode? Who will tell the answer? What is the difference between import and direct? Yes, import will import the data, but what is the direct mode? What is the direct mode? See, in the direct mode, you cannot see this icon, data icon. You can see the model, you can see the visualization. Why? Because data will not be imported into Power BI, okay, but data will be there in the source side, but only schema will be imported. You need to tell this. The difference between import and direct query mode is in the direct query mode, only schema will be imported. That is the reason you cannot see the data inside the Power BI. Okay, but whenever you want to see the data, you need to go back to the source, let's say SQL Server, and you can query from there. But you cannot query or you cannot do any data manipulation from Power BI desktop side. You cannot see this if you connect the data into direct query mode. Why we go direct query mode? You can also do import mode, but why we go direct mode is when there is a huge data set as a source, okay, billions of records, and if you do import, your pro service pro is a 10 GB, but that might if you import everything, the 10 GB might go off and you cannot do any further. So why you should unnecessarily waste that 10 GB by just importing? Instead of, you can connect so that it will just in KBs. The PBX file size in KBs or MBs, not more than that. Only schema is importing, will not give you the Power BI size, PBX size will not increase that much. Okay, that is the efficiency in the direct connect mode. Sometimes you use Power Apps, okay, but if you do import, what exactly Power Apps will do? If anything wants to do update from Power BI report, Power Apps is actually one of the most beneficial thing. Let's say I feel some value is here. Okay, this final model. Okay, this is already done. Okay, we'll see the other one. Okay, so now just we are installing. Okay, installing the gateway. The gateway is actually popped up now. Install again. It's installing. We have downloaded that. Now it's installation. Okay, where we were? We were discussing something, right? Anybody? What I was discussing before this?
Direct query.
So direct query, the Power Apps, basically, if you do import, data is in the Power BI. If I do some updates, it will only update in the cache. The source will not get update. That is a problem, right? Actually, my source data should also get update. That is my intent. So if you want to manipulate the source from the Power BI dashboard, then you should connect to the direct connection mode. Okay, that is the difference. You can tell to the interview in this granular level, okay, so that you will understand that you have a, okay, where is my email address then to enter? I've saved somewhere, right? Yesterday. Now I can get it from here in the service. This one. Oh. Okay, Mahendra.p at poweredu23 on Microsoft.com. Let's enter that. This is my organization, okay? On Microsoft.com. Guys, tomorrow I will ask a question. What is the difference between on-premise personal gateway and enterprise gateway? There are differences. Okay, you should come up with the answers. That is the assignment. Okay, and any questions? We'll configure tomorrow this gateway.
Question है ना? Difference
between personal gateway, personal mode, and enterprise mode. The gateways are two types, right?
Right.
Self-service, personal gateway and premium or enterprise gateway. What is the difference between these two? Why? No, that's okay. It's not case sensitive. Anyway, Power Edu 23 dot on Microsoft.com.
E-caps ED.
No, email should not be caps actually. That's okay. I mean, it can work. See, now it's asking. Password, okay. Yeah. Oh my God, this is a multi-factor authentication. Okay. Not required. Oh, it's asking multi-factor authentication is mandatory. Okay. Now what I need to do, I need to just enter some. I need to scan. Okay. It will send one digit. I mean, just to make sure that this is one of the security. Previously, hackers can hack the password, but if you have this multi-factor authentication, they cannot hack your OTP, right? So this is one of the benefit. Okay, we'll see this tomorrow. I don't have other mobile which I've given for this organization account creation. But any other questions? So in every organization now, everybody using this multi-factor authentication. Now password is one option, but along with your password, Microsoft is giving this multi-factor authentication. So one app has to be installed in your mobile. Then there you need to give your fingerprint or a digit code. Okay. So we'll fix this issue tomorrow. Okay, multi-factor authentication. Any other questions?
One thing, while you are creating your Pro account, you have entered your Outlook mail ID, right?
Not Outlook mail ID. That is an organizational email.
No. Before that, in the starting, we have to enter. Yesterday, you have entered mahendra.pujari@outlook.com.
No, that is my personal account. But yeah, that was given error. For personal account, Pro account is not available. Microsoft will not give you for the Mahendra.pujari@outlook.com is my personal email ID. So for personal email, they will not give you Pro service, even for trial also.
No, I have seen two steps. In the second step, you have entered poweredu.com something. So before that, you have entered Outlook mail ID, right?
Okay. That is just to identify myself. I mean, who I am. That is the sign up. Okay. So for every organization, there is a person, right? For person, there should be an email ID.
Okay.
So that is just a signing up for my organization.
I try to
my Pro account.
I try to create account. Yesterday, you have given link. No, I have gone through that. I have entered. I tried to create account, but it's not going forward.
What was the error? You can take the screenshot and send it to me in the group or in the Skype group or in my WhatsApp group, so that and somebody can pitch in and they can tell you, they can advise you. That is the collaboration. Collaboration is one of the most important skill everybody should have. That is the reason I encourage you to chat, not call. Suresh, remember. So collaboration through chat, whatever the error comes, you need to discuss through chat as much as possible. If not, I mean, if you feel that explaining in the WhatsApp or chat makes you a lot of chat or a lot of energy waste, then you can call for quicker and emergency thing.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at that part only. No one is pinging in WhatsApp. So if I
That's
can,
okay. That's okay. You try. You
yeah,
initiate. You become a
yeah,
leader.
actually, if someone is asking a question in the group, I am interested in giving answers.
Okay. Good. Yeah, that's really nice. Guys, use this utilization. Collaborate with others. Learn with others. Learn with peer. You will learn a lot. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks, RK. So I'm just stopping it, the recording.